Good morning and welcome to Melzworld Live. It is Friday, Thursday. Sorry, my days got all mixed up. Yesterday, when you break rhythm, things change, shift around. It is Thursday. I'm sorry, I'm not here yet. I have coffee. I haven't sipped it. Um, it is Thursday, March 27th. It is 8:31, so I technically started on time, and I'm Ramel Otis, and this is Mel's World Live. So let's talk about yesterday. Let's talk about it. Didn't stream yesterday. That's because I was running around San Diego. Now, I don't make any money right now. I don't have a job. I'm looking aggressively. I don't have a job. But this yesterday was an instance in which why I don't want a job, right? Yesterday is an example of why I could live my life and not ever need to go anywhere on a clock. I'll give you some backstory, right? The backstory is my brother and I and my sister, we all met to discuss family business, right? We have family business. There's some stuff in the Philippines we're dealing with. So, came to my brother's house under the illusion or the assumption of lunch. We're going to have lunch. We're going to get together. We're going to do family business, work on some stuff. Great. Well, my sister decided to bring from Goldbelly these very supposedly high quality cinnamon rolls. I mean, these are sticky buns. So she got, if you don't know what Goldbelly is, it's a company that somehow has an arrangement with viral cafes, bakeries, restaurants, and they hone in on whatever your big viral food is, right? Whatever's popular. And I guess the best way to explain that is there's a restaurant called Momofuku, and they're known for having what's called crack pie. Now, originally Momofuku was in New York only. Recently, or I wouldn't say recently, but then they started to expand out. They now have one in Las Vegas. So crack pie is one of their viral foods. It's this, I don't know, toffee pie. It's good. It's good. It's very indulgent, but you can't get it anywhere but New York and in Las Vegas. Which, if you're on your way to Las Vegas, great way to swing by and pick it up. But if you're in the Midwest, you're kind of shit out of luck. So Goldbelly is this company. It's kind of this middle company that says you can order through us. We'll connect you with that restaurant. You can buy a Momofuku crack pie, and we've arranged it in a way that we can ship it to your home. But we'll do the packaging, or maybe they do, right? It's kind of a ghost kitchen, but we'll be the web middleman that gets the money to Momofuku. We'll provide them with the packaging. I don't know how that rule works. And we'll ship next day crack pie. We'll put some dry ice in there. We'll make sure that when it gets to you, it's as if you just picked it up and you drove home. And then you can make it fresh in your house. And they do this with a lot of different foods and brands and varieties. And it's a cool idea if you can afford it, right? If you look at the tiers of luxury, this is one of those tiers that isn't like super wealthy, but it's definitely money you didn't need to spend, right? It's an indulgence. It is excessive, but it gives you access. So like another thing is like the Tom Cruise coconut cake that he gives as a gift. That's a bakery somewhere in the middle of who knows where, but they make it, and if you go to Goldbelly, you can get it. All right, so Goldbelly is the middleman. They reach out to these viral bakeries and cafes, and they make those foods accessible to the general public, which is good. It's a good idea because if you're doing well financially in Los Angeles and you want a viral food that only happens in New York, there's no reason why you just can't pop onto Goldbelly and get that item. It's going to be 3, 4 times as much because that includes shipping, but it's the item that you saw on TV, that you saw on the internet, and you were like, I wish I could try that, right? So good for Goldbelly. Back to the story. My sister bought Goldbelly uh, cinnamon rolls, sticky buns, got it shipped to the house. Now here's what's funny is you have to let it rise, right? You let it thaw, and then you let it rise, right? Because there's yeast in there, and so you let it thaw because it's flash frozen or cold as shit. Let it thaw at room temperature, then you let it rise, right? The yeast needs to eat. Let the yeast eat. Let it rise. Then you cook it. So she received it. She thawed it. She brought it to the house, my brother's house. She let it thaw. We gave it the appropriate amount of time. She cooked it according to spec, according to the written instructions. Absolutely burned it. Not only did she burn it, but it never really truly rose. It was just dense and burnt, and it was a miserable experience, and we all laughed. But it made me say, well, we should redeem this moment. We need to find the best cinnamon roll in San Diego. So that's it. That's the basis of the story for what happened yesterday. I left the home probably around 8, and I drove across San Diego from the south to the north. I picked up several cinnamon buns. I probably spent, I don't know, $70 worth of driving and food and some snacks, breakfast. But probably $70. I think that's a fair number. Yeah. And then we tried it, and it was horrible. All the cinnamon rolls sucked. And I don't know, maybe our palates had changed over time. But, one of them was called Compan, which is like a French bakery. They did a brioche cinnamon bun. One was this place called Bear Buns, which was very highly rated on Google and Yelp. And then the third was Cinnabon, because that's kind of the known standard so that you have something to compare it to. And honestly, it is funny, right? We, like, Lisa and I love a good Cinnabon, but when you compare it to what a normal bakery does, right? Because Cinnabon has to rely on their consistent formula. And I don't know if that means that every Cinnabon gets shipped frozen rolls, frozen dough, but there is a consistency to their dough. There's a consistency to their whatever that sweet syrupy cream is, right? The cream cheese topping. But it takes on its own identity once you compare it to another cinnamon roll. That's what's important, right? I think if you eat McDonald's burgers all day and you don't think about it, but the moment you put it next to, a Habit burger, an In-N-Out burger, and a Red Robin burger, you suddenly realize that this burger is a manufactured burger. Not to say it's not natural, but it is part of a consistency system, and it will always stay in that lane, and by comparison does not taste like what you would assume a normal burger is, right? Anyways, that was the experience. Cinnabon suddenly wasn't as exciting. Now, that's not to say the others were, but the others created a flavor element that contrasted, right? That created a contrast that brought out this kind of synthetic manufactured flavor from the Cinnabon. That being said, Compan's brioche bun wasn't bad. I think having it fresh, out of the oven, just like a Krispy Kreme donut, is key, right? Like, no one would have you taste a gourmet dish a day after it's made. Even if you reheated it, you did not get it at optimal flavor. texture, quality, right? The idea is that these buns come right out of the oven, steaming, and you put the frosting on it, and you enjoy it at that moment. It's not like a birthday store cake, right? Or it's grocery store birthday cake. Anyways, all that to say, it was it was a it was a it was an ordeal to collect, and it was anticlimactic, but it is a as a whole, from a 10,000 foot view, I consider these stories. I love the story of it because it's funny to take the listener with you on this trip across San Diego, across which just eats up all of these miles to pick up a $7 to $10 cinnamon roll, only to be disappointed. I think that's the best part. The best part is we can look upon this story and go, this is kind of a waste of time. But you can mine that story over and over again when you tell it to somebody new. And that's cool. I think that's cool. Anyways, that's where I was yesterday, and that's why I wasn't on streaming, which clearly hasn't impacted anybody on here. Hey, my one viewer is me in Twitch. My one viewer is probably me in stream on Kick, and there's 0 viewers on YouTube, which is the most honest. So that's okay. Let's go ahead and go through life updates while we're here. Freezer. We had technicians come yesterday. The freezer is at a whopping 28 degrees, so Ice Maker hasn't done anything differently. Oh, I'll get to that part. But today I really should switch my insurance over to Kaiser because it's the 27th and we're approaching 30 days from which I was notified, so it's probably important that we get that done today. Yeah, Progressive refunded it. They refunded about $800 back. I was very happy to see that. And because of it, it will enable me to take me and my children, my child and my wife to San Francisco for me to perform at BabsCon. So that's a win. I'll take that. It's a dub that we got the money back for that. Which is interesting, right? So, the goal is to fight the loss of $1,800 a month, right? The goal of getting a job right now is to fight the fact that I'm not getting, the unemployment. And the good news is, and of course this is a short-lived good news, the good news is when all is said and done, I looked at the account and we were probably $300 less this month than we were last month. And that's pretty good. Like, that's a pretty cool thing to hear. We've somehow managed to scrape and collect and get by and figure out how to make the money so that we only dropped $300 versus $1,800. So whatever we did last month, which is a lot of luck, I'll be honest with you, a lot of it was luck, was we were able to not take a hard hit in this month. So that's a win, but we're coming across tax season. We're coming across property taxes. There's going to be some major financial drainages happening, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Property tax, just like Thanos, is inevitable, and we need to get it taken care of. So, but like I said, we have a storage of money, and I've been applying, but it's rough out there. It's really hard. It's hard to find a job. Like it's very hard. I'm going to amend that. It's hard to find a job according to what I'm looking for. Could I go and work manual labor? Probably. Could I go and work in a restaurant, stand all day, be treated by both younger management and customers? I could do it. That's miserable, though. I'm trying to stick to something that will keep my sanity. So that's hard. That's the hard part. It's not hard to find a job, I would imagine. I'm assuming if you're willing to do anything, there's a job out there for you. But if you're not willing to do anything, it gets exponentially harder to locate a job. So good news about that progressive work refund. Jobs applied. Yesterday was a wash because I was in the middle of, you know, cinnamon roll day. Projects. Yes, we finished the track Hit Flow for Babs Con. You know, this is a good subject to talk about. I'm really interested in talking about this one. I have, there's a rhythm when I write, right? When I write, it comes either easily or I have to kind of take one line at a time. But for the most part, I'm blessed to be able to write quickly, and for the most part, that writing turns out okay. Like it's good. And today or yesterday, I got to witness what hard work looks like, right? Talent plus hard work. Mike the Microphone is easily considered one of the best rappers in the Brony fandom and one of the first, right? He came in and he blew down the doors, and I'm sorry, when I say him, I mean they, right? Just to be respectful. They came in, they blew down the doors, and they're a great rapper. There's no question about it. I'd never worked with them before. I always wanted to, and Next Gen gave us the opportunity to work together. So I sat down and I worked with Mike the Microphone, and I got to see their work process. And it is clear to see what somebody who works hard at their craft looks like. And it is a good contrast, right? Because I think I work hard when I make videos, right? I think I work hard. But in reality, I work loose, right? I work a lot, like I put hours down, but I'm plentiful in my production, but I work loosely, and it means that I don't put hard work into it. I put work into it. I put what I consider time into it. But I'm aware of what I could do more, right? I'm aware of how I can be more discerning or more critical or more tighter with a cut. And I'm not. And I know this, right? I'm a willing participant in whether or not I exert effort into something. For hip hop, it's not the same. Hip hop for me is I'm going to write what comes to my mind, almost like stream of thought, and as long as it fits lyrically, as long as it fits syllabically, it's going on the paper. And 99 out of 100 times, it's something that I like and it goes out. Watching Mike the Microphone work, the way that he thinks about layering, the way that he thinks about, like, and once again, I mean they, right? Please replace it. I'm just very old and lazy. I see the effort involved. I see the intent. I see the work being put down. And maybe it's not to the standard that they consider to themselves, but just to me, as an observer, I can see that they put in way more work. And if you're talented and you put in the work, there is a quality that you see in that process. And I was impressed, honestly. You know, I rarely feel that in the industry. I rarely see where the rubber, meaning the talent, meets the road, meaning the work. When you see the talent and the work come together, it will always produce something of a higher caliber. So mine, I think, is my rubber is there. And when I hit the road, I know what I could do more. I know what I could spend more time doing, but I don't. And maybe that's the key to success. The key to success is knowing what you can do to make something better and then doing it. Being talented is half of that. It's half of the equation. And the reason why talented people who don't have a lot of initiative get by, right? I'm the example of getting by when it comes to my creative talent. And some people just get lucky, right? But other people work. They are the Rock Lee when it comes to getting the work done. That's amazing. That amazes the hell out of me. I am in awe of that level of effort, and therefore I believe that that verse will always be superior to mine because there's a talent and it's being cultivated with effort. And maybe that's probably why if I ever find success in content creation, it will be because of the effort and not because of my talent. It will be because I sat down and I cranked out an episode every week consistently for a year. That's effort, right? Slow burn, but it's intentful, it's present, it's tangible. I can't make one video with talent alone to capture the minds and the eyes of millions of subscribers. I have enough talent that if I'm consistent and I'm productive, that time will bring subscribers, will bring patrons. And Mike the Microphone is an example of someone who grinds, who works, who puts the effort down, and is propelled by the power of their talent. And it's on a higher scale, right? It's the Kendrick Lamars, it's the Doechis, it's the Chappell Roans, it's the directors, the actors. Like when you look at an actor and the way that they put it's Conan O'Brien. I mean, it's a rhythm and a pattern of successful people, right? It is. I hate what 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration, but it truly, I would say it's 40% talent, 60% effort, right? Okay, 30% talent, 60% effort, 10% luck. That's what it is, right? That's the winning combination, right? You know what? I honestly believe if you're talented and you work your ass off, you don't need luck. You make luck, right? If you're talented and you put the effort in, you make your own fortune. You make your own fate. And I can say very clearly, very earnestly, I could stand to push harder, right? If I wanted to. I could stand to grind harder. I could stand to pull more strings, run more laps. I can see the gaps in the work, fill more crevices. I could do that. I choose not to, but I could. And that's important. I think that's the difference between people that get that success immediately, because there's a mountain of work behind it that propels them forward. And then the talent is the gasoline, right? Like talent's the fuel. Okay. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. And I wanted to say it and make sure it was on camera. But yeah. Okay. Today is when I could be saying it's Wednesday. Today's Thursday. My son is running his heart out for 36 laps. We hope that he does his 36 laps. Today I'm going to the Senior Center for the Mira Mesa Dialogue. Hopefully get more time to work with the guy that's the head of the teen center. And tonight I'm hanging out with Steve, getting the call. Kind of chat. And I gotta look for more work. I hope I get something. It's hard out there. But maybe, you know what? Maybe I try another month, right? April's gonna come. It's going to drain our bank account. April's going to come, and I'm going to realize at the very end of April that there's no job out there that's just going to come get me from all of these fucking resumes that I've sent. I will need to just be a gig economy worker, a flex Amazon delivery man, whatever it takes, because I need to bring money into this household with my own hands. And I've put the thing that I love on hold to secure that money. And I'm coming up empty-handed. Anyways, that's it. Have a good Thursday. I hope it's enjoyable. I hope that you find joy in it. And I wish you success. So, thanks for tuning in. This is Melzworld Live. I'm Mel. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.